So I'm going to start by reciting a poem. I'm probably going to make some mistakes, but that's okay, and I'll explain what I have going on and why I'm reciting this poem at the end. So it's called Roll the Dice by Charles Bukowski. If you're going to try, go all the way. If you're going to try, go all the way. If you're not going to go all the way, better not even start. You might risk mockery, derision, losing girlfriends, wives, relatives, jobs, maybe even your mind. You might not eat for 3 or 4 days. You might sleep on a park bench. If you're gonna try, go all the way. There's no other feeling like that. If you're going to try, go all the way. When you live like that, you're alone with the gods, and the nights flame with fire. Do it, do it, do it, do it. Go all the way. When you live like that, you ride life to perfect laughter. It's the only good fight there is. So I got this exercise from Brené Brown, and not directly to recite poetry, although I decided to, what she says is write permission slips to yourself. This is in her book, I think it's called Braving the Wilderness, right in the beginning. And she talks about how she started to write permission slips to herself. You know, not all of us had parents that were there to write our permission slips to school, and the other kids had the permission slips to go on this or that field trip, and some kids didn't have those permission slips. And some kids had those permission slips, but they're missing other types of permission slips. Permission to be who they are, permission to enjoy themselves, permission to be happy. Yeah. And so she talks about how as an adult, she started to write permission slips to herself, and how she ended up doing this hundreds and hundreds of times. And, you know, just something simple, just rip a small piece of paper and write, you have permission to do this, you have permission to do that. And so I've been doing that, and I really like it. And I also really like the power of poetry. Sigmund Freud, the famous psychiatrist, psychologist, whatever he was, who basically started psychoanalysis 100 years ago, he said, wherever I go, a poet has been there before me. Wherever I go, a poet has been there before me. And in some ways, what the poet does is more pure. And so what I've been doing with my permission slips is, on one side, writing a piece of poetry until I basically have it in me and I can just recite it. And excuse me for the mistakes I made. I know I made a few mistakes on that piece of poetry, but the point is that you can get something really powerful within you. And then on the other side, something more present, something you need to give yourself permission for. Permission to be who you are, permission to have joy, permission to receive or to give love. Yeah, and so the poem is called Roll the Dice by Charles Bukowski, and I got the exercise of ripping a little piece of paper and writing yourself a permission slip from Brené Brown.